Hello, 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 and welcome to Mappy Hour with Beth. Wow, that looks really funky. Hang on. Weird stuff is happening. Is my light on? Wow, look at that. So, how is everyone? See if I can get this here. So today, we are working on some weird stuff. not necessarily weird. If you attended earlier today for the um, Morning Brew with Dr. Colin, then you were here for us talking about the ships. Well, specifically one ship. It's called something ridiculous. Like the bar you don't have to look at it. It's called something crazy because it was a dwarf ship. And yeah, so this is what we're working with. This specific one that we are working with today is a copy of the Ark, which is like the basic, one of the basic ships that we have, like ship bases. So I already have the base made, and we don't have to worry about watching me do that because that would be super boring. Especially since I've literally done so many of these at this point. Like, I can't imagine that anybody wants to watch me do more of these. So, instead, you get to watch me decorate, which everyone knows is my literal favorite thing to do. So, that's what we're doing today. I do need to change this background though, because this ship is not in the ocean. It is actually on the back of a giant hermit crab. So, we need to change what it looks like. There is also some other cool stuff. Let's see. We could do like a rock texture. Bonsoir, Casmodius. I am just lurk. That's fine. Appreciate you for attending. Know that there is. Ooh, maybe this one. Hey, that's rocky but more shell looking. So we've got that. There's the void. Acid cave floor is also an option. Probably not anything grassy. Yeah, I think that's just gonna be it because everything else is like space or water. And then we get into like cobblestone and stuff like that. There is like a mossy pile, but again, his shell is supposed to be like part of an actual rock, like a cave that he just like walked into and was like, "This am I now." So, I think it being a rock is fine. It is supposed to be kind of like bucky and crooked, but I think what we are gonna have to do is change the color of this flooring because it's supposed to look really kind of. It's been hanging out on the back of a. It was a sunken ship, and then it was hanging out on the back of a crab for a long time. So it makes sense to me that it would be kind of gross looking. I think I want it a little bit lighter than that. Nope, too dark, too dark. We don't want it red, we still want it brown. Why can I make this without it looking? You know what? That'll work. Then change color. This one. I think that's literally the best we're gonna get it is like as close to white as it'll go. But I can change this to ashen, which I think is what we're gonna do. I don't know if there's like an ugly, like decrepit looking one. Well, if there was, I could probably put some like planks on it maybe. The map itself is supposed to be a treasure ship full of well, treasure obviously, but it's supposed to be, let's see, does that work? Yeah, that's very gray and kind of funky looking. We just have to change a couple of the other things. I don't know. I mean, like in my brain, right? It's been underground, like not underground, but it was under the ocean for a long time, and then it got picked up from the crab. So it makes sense to me that it would be like not like vibrant as far as like color goes. So there's that. But I think certain parts of it will be okay. Like down here, like this has got to change. Do this one. This one. Let's do that one. What is it here? That one. And here. This. Down here, we'll change this one as well. This is a little pointy for my taste, but I think we're just gonna have to work with what we got. So this is the hull. So Arcs, like the ship style that this one is sorry, my brain did a herp derp. I think like it'll be fine, but this is what is supposed to be a like 3-tier ship with 2 masts and 4 sails. So for this one, the sails are stacked and we can do them right there. So this is 2 sets of sails, they're stacked. This is la poop deck, which we also need to change. And we'll have to change the door for that as well, because it's the wrong color. Those. I don't know why this is 2 separate doors, but it is. For whatever reason. But okay. Down. That's gotta be changed. This has to be changed. The stairs will have to also. Alright, I think that's almost everything, right? Just gonna change the. Those can stay the same. I'm not worried about those. You know what? Actually, we need to. Oh, B says I lurk too. Sorry, I was not paying attention. I apologize. But hello, B. Thank you for hanging out. I think those will be fine. I do need to find out from Dr. Colin. I don't think he's here. No, he's not. But I'll have to ask him where exactly the Pelican Wyvern is supposed to be. Because if it's supposed to be in like the crow's nest, then I will have to put it up here in the crow's nest. But lurking. If it's up in the crow's nest, then I'll have to put it there. But if it's like on the deck somewhere, then like I will have to figure that out as well. So I'll have to wait and ask Dr. Colin exactly where we're going with that. But you know what? so that you guys can see a little bit better. Things are gonna get real fucky for a second. Just trust me. There. Do with this. Dang. Never mind. And the other one I can backtrack it out, but I guess I can't do this one. Never mind. Just trying to let you guys see a little bit more, but I guess it won't let me, so. Sorry, friends. Do it that way. Micro movements here. Alright, there you go. In OBS, it will let me like crop it in so that I can zoom in for you guys, but for whatever reason, this one's not letting me do it. But I'll fix it for the next time. Okay. I think I'm out of my ambiance, is what it is. Give me 1 second. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Okay, I gotta change up my shit. I'm out of my element. BRB. Return in a second. This is not the normal be right back, but I have returned. There we go. That's better. That's the vibe. I feel better now. I feel in the element. Know what I'm saying? Bonsoir, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. Anywho, back to what we were doing. So, we need to Can you guys hear me okay? Like, is the music too loud? Yeah, I find that I've been doing that a lot lately, where it's like too much. The vibe. We are changing out fillers. Oh wow, okay, so they only have dark ones. How annoying. Oh. AE. Yeah, these big boys. Okay. Actually, you know what? That'll work. I'm not mad about it. Okay. It just feels like it's a little too blendy. Right? Like if I like that feels like too close color wise. I turn off the It could be the background too. Like there's a lot of gray going on, you know? It is supposed to be a treasure ship. But again, it has been like out in the sun for a long time, so I don't know, I guess we could leave it. I don't know. We'll see kind of how we're feeling. Meh. It feels so monotone, you know? Which I mean, it's supposed to, but at the same time, like, meh. I feel like we can probably just, you know what, Bullet, we're just gonna leave it. We're just gonna leave it. It'll be fine. It's chill. I'm cool. I don't know, you know? Like, what does a treasure ship even look like? The answer is it's gonna look like whatever my brain says it's gonna look like. And at the moment, my brain's like, I don't fucking know. I got nothing for you. So, we're winging it. Winging it, friends. We are gonna use a little bit fancier of, ooh, okay, too big. We're using a little bit fancier materials today because it is supposed to be a treasure ship. So that, yeah, I think 10 foot on either side is fine. Perhaps if we do a path tool underneath, that could work. Because we want it to look dark, we want it to look like you go down into the bottom of the boat, because that's where all the cool stuff is. So, there's something there. Anywho though, how's everyone's day going? Mine was pretty good. It is currently 0 dark 23, so it is officially tomorrow for me. But where the fuck is the, oh, because I'm on path tools stuff. What am I doing? There we go. I have essentially been cooped up almost all day long because we are having a like low-key blizzard, I guess, kind of what you would call it. We got a lot of snow, like a lot. It's almost a foot, I think. It's like a ridiculous amount for Germany, and they don't ever get this much. But like, here we are. So that's kind of what everyone's been dealing with here. And normally they're really good about like getting everything covered in time, you know, like let's see. They're usually pretty good about that's weird. Like doing the roads and stuff like that. But for whatever reason, they're just like not on it today, I guess. And everything is like everything shut down early. Everything like it was chaos. Excuse me. Yeah, it was chaos. Like nobody knew what the fuck was going on. Like they were like, "Are we closing things down? Are we not closing things down? Like, what is the fucking plan?" And so like Patrick came home early. Like he was just like, what's going on? And it's also a 4-day weekend, and it's also Valentine's Day this weekend, for those of you who didn't know. And for those of you who hate Valentine's Day. Um, that's fine too, because I've been there. I've literally been asking Patrick all week, like, or actually, it's been probably 2 weeks now, I think, where I've been like, don't forget, it's Valentine's Day this weekend. Like, it's Valentine's Day this weekend. Don't forget, it's Valentine's Day this weekend. And I'm just waiting to see what happens. He is a bougie bitch, and so he's getting wine. I will either have to go to like the PX to get it, but I think I'm gonna try to sneak out onto the economy and get it from like Etika or I could probably go to Coughlin too, I think. But like I'm gonna try to sneak out to like get it. Because we haven't been out on the economy since they changed the rules about the masks that you can wear. Which sucks a lot because they basically made it a requirement that you have to wear like the equivalent of the N95 masks, and we don't like easily have access to that. So it's a little difficult. But you know, what can you do? Be like that, I guess. Thankfully, we got pretty lucky and the commissary has been open and everything's been fine like that. But I know not everyone gets that opportunity, so we've been pretty lucky in that front. But I really do miss like not even just like actual shopping, you know? Like yes, I do miss like going out into the world and like going shopping and like we need new clothes like from H&M. Like we like there's like I've lost a bunch of weight and like a bunch of my clothes don't fit and like not in the good way, like not in like the oh this circ life got a little extra room, like I look cute, but like literally things are like huge and baggy on me and it's like some of my leggings don't fit. Like that's the problem. Because like I wear leggings a lot and if like the like it just it's a problem. So there's a bunch of stuff and it's very like first world problemy. I recognize, I'm very aware. Um but it is a problem nonetheless. And so I really miss like I miss going shopping like that. But I do also really miss actual grocery shopping. Like something I never thought I would say in my entire fucking life. But, like here we are. Um I never thought that I would miss going grocery shopping. ah. Anyway, though, this is supposed to be Mappy hour, as in like happy hour. So we'll switch topics here. To Ooh, goodness. Ooh, thank you, Casmodius. I appreciate you. How exciting. Where did my music go? Happened. This song is called The Rain is Sad. The end of the list. Wow, okay. The Rain is Sad. I didn't hate it. Like it was a good album, but it was called Low Fidelity. For those of you who are wondering, it's the epidemic sound. Let's try Spring Rain. That sounds cool. Yes. Thoughts in the Rain. Oh wow, okay, so there are like Rainy Sunday, Rain Quail, Rain Check. Oh, one of these is called something else. Raining, Drown, Birdsong, Dry Land, Rain in Seattle, and Swimmer. Interesting. We'll see how it goes. Oh, my debt is paid. I can finally leave. The fear in your eyes when the alert popped up. It's because like I'm never ready for the sound. I'm never ready. Never. It just like shows up whenever it wants to. Ooh, huh? It'd be like that. Anywho, so let's see how we feel. Yeah, okay, I can work with that. Let's actually, you know what I think we should do? We're gonna change this one to the like rusty, gross looking one. I keep forgetting that this is supposed to be ugly. I was like, it's gonna be cute because it's a treasure ship, and then I'm like, just kidding, it's supposed to be ugly. No, bad Beth. It's supposed to be ugly. I don't know why that's not like doing it right. I don't really know. Anywho, yeah, so we got like a foot of snow today. I need to go grocery shopping, like real bad. um, I ran out of coffee, which is a problem. Uh, and then in addition to, why is that not centered right? What is going on right now? Like slightly off. Did anybody else see that? Not crazy, right? Like that. That's annoying. That's right. Excuse me while my perfectionist comes out. Okay. There we go. That's better. Okay. So this look real scratched up and fun. Okay. How do we feel about the background, the rock? I don't think I like it. I think it needs to be darker. We can try with the cave floor one and see how that goes. But I don't know, like I feel like it's like it like swallows the background, you know? Or not the background, but it like swallows the boat, you know? Like it's too there's too much gray happening here. Not that that's always a bad thing. In this instance, I feel like it is. It just like it blends a little like too well, you know? Look at that scratched up ass deck. Hell yeah. You know what we can also do? We can also add holes into it. Batteries at 15%. Oh no! I don't know how I feel about this song, this music. We may have to switch it up again. Let's see. I feel like I need more of a jam vibe, you know? Let's see what we got. We got. What are we feeling? Are we feeling. We had jazz this morning with Dr. Collins. I'm not really feeling. Tuesday. I could. Let's try. Let's try beats and see what our. Feel good hip hop, heavyweights, Be My Valentine, winter sports, crafting, art beats, ambient gaming. Let's paint, photography tutorials, Loving caliber bedroom. Like a king sis encore. Aerobics. Music for pets. All right. I was expecting that to be the cooler. This one is called Modern Classical Volume 3. Vibrant Pop. Let's try that one. Yeah, I'm not a huge vocal person, but like, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. There's an ooh, Unwind. That's the one. Okay, anywho, returning. So, we got the ugly crate on there. I just feel like it's so light, darker. Yeah, like that. That works. Goodness. I know I keep saying it, but I really do need to get a better chair. I'm on a peach juice kick, if you're wondering what that was. Let's see. Okay, checking the Discord. Oh, that was mailed. Okay, so that looks better. I like that a lot better. That's fine. We can deal with that. We need to dirty this fucking deck. Now, it is important to note, you might be saying to me, Beth, why is there so much damage on this thing? And the answer to your question, dear viewer, is because it's on the back of giant hermit crab. And I know I said that before, but if you weren't paying attention or if you're confused slightly about what that means, if you go back a little ways, or literally any of the like Dr. Collins chapter 2 stuff, we actually just finished chapter 2 today. Go us. The not main quest, I guess, but like the quest line that chapter 2 encompasses is meeting up with the were shark pirate captain who's a dickbag, and you are going to help him get some money to pay Carlisle. Hey, this holy ass ship. You're gonna get some money to pay Carlisle because you owe him money, and it just be like that sometimes. So that's dumb. It does that. It's okay. I think it's too many holes. It's fine. We can do it. I can do their holes. Hey, look at that. That, this one. I think this was for the roof, but be like that. So, the cool people that you have to like help, they basically owe Carlisle this money, which makes sense because they're shitty pirates. And so they say, like, if you help us, then we will like take you to him and help you out. And so that's kind of where you are on that front. And like uh what you have to go do is basically they say like we know this place where there's this hermit crab and it has all of this stuff on its back, like it has a sunken like treasure chest, and then you go, okay, cool, let's go fucking find that, and then you go find it, and that's where you find kind of where we are now, and basically you have to first of all get on the ship, which, well, actually, first of all you have to find the crab, and to get there you have to go to an island, and to get to that island it's a bit of a time to get there. Actually, it takes a hot minute, but the once you're there you have to actually find the ship, and then um, or find the crab and then find the ship, which, or get to the ship, I guess is a better statement, and then have to get all of the stuff out of here, like um, to get like the treasure. So there's statues, there's cannons, there's like a fuck ton of gold, but you do have carry weight, and there's also the pelican wyverns, which have like taken up nest here, and like in that, excuse me, in that you have to like deal with kind of that situation. There's a couple ways you can go about it, and um, there's a couple ways you can go about it, but the main thing is you're trying to get onto this ship and get the stuff that you need in order to go see Carlisle. So here we are with this janky ass looking boat. I feel like we should fuck this up. This should be broken and not be perfectly beautiful and gorgeous. Get any one of those. Wanna hella, I don't even know what is, I know we figured out what it's called. The fucking thing. It's like the unicorn piece for the ship. I know I figured it out. Somebody told me one time. There's two names for it, but I don't know what they are. But it does have a name. You break it. Makes sense to me. Then it would be sharp as shit. Anybody else remember that scene from The Little Mermaid where that like ship is in the fucking vortex and it stabs Ursula right in the stomach and that's how she dies? Because that's the vibe I'm going for. Is death to Squiddy Queen thing. Was she a squid or is it more, was she an octopus? I feel like it was an octopus, right? Like, regardless, like the tentacles were a vibe. They did solid on that one. I don't know if you watched the second one or if you even knew that there was a second mermaid, but there is one, and it is about Melody, who is Ariel and Eric's daughter. Basically, what she does is run away from home like the stupid princess she is, and you know, because she wants to be a mermaid and she loves the sea, and they put a giant fucking wall around the palace, and like Ariel never goes into the water, and she's like doesn't fit in with the other kids, and they're all like, you're fucking weird, like we don't want to hang out with you, and she has like a birthday party and all these kids come, and she gets like the crab fucking Sebastian like falls out of her fucking dress or some shit like that, and they're like, "Oh my god!" Or she's dancing with a boy, and he's like tied into the bow at the back of her dress, and he like grabs the boy's hands, and he's like, "Oh fuck!" And then it chaos, you know. And so everybody's like, "Oh my god, you're so weird!" Like, we don't fucking like you. And so she's just like, "Hey, everybody hates me." And then Ariel's like, "I was a regular fish out of water," and I'm like, "Come on, Disney, like, what are you doing?" But anyway, so she runs away, and whence she does. Oh, die. Are you alive still? Um, but when she runs away, basically she meets like Ursula's sister, who is also a sea witch, and she she offers her to like be a mermaid, I think, but she needs her trident, which was stolen by a mean, nasty king. And if she, like, she can't get into the palace because she's banished by this mean king who stole her trident. And so she says to her, "If I turn you into a mermaid, like, will you go get it for me?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure. Like, I'll fucking do whatever you want." And so not knowing any better, because Ariel and Eric have kept her whole life from their daughter, who literally has loved the ocean her entire life and just wants to fucking be there. But for whatever reason, they very similar to Elsa and like, we need to hide your abilities. Like, they never let her go outside, like into the ocean, and they never tell her that she was a mermaid. And so she doesn't know anything about her family and that King Trident is her grandfather and that he is the rightful king. So she just goes and like is like, we need to go, you know, get this fucking thing from this guy. And so along the way, she meets adventurous Tip and Daring Dash adventure slash explorers. It's a whale and a penguin. And they become her sidekicks, and they like go together to get the fucking trident, and they make it all the way there. And when Ariel realizes that Melanie is missing, she goes to her dad and, I don't know, fucking stands in the water and like yodel hoos him, and he just fucking comes up and he's like, "What's wrong, Ariel?" And she's like, "Melody's missing." And she's like, "Oh no!" And so then he like turns her into a mermaid again, and she, I don't know how they managed to make her look 40 years old. Like, I don't I don't know how the fuck they did it, but like somehow maybe they gave her like bags under her eyes or like bigger hips. Like, I don't fucking know what it was, but she didn't look like teenage Ariel. She looked like 40-year-old Ariel. And and they also find Flounder, who is also like a, has like, I don't know how they gave a fish a dad bod, but like they did. And so he he basically becomes her sidekick again, and they go to find Melody, and ends up Melody finds them, and then they realize like what they've done when she steals it, and like bring, her name is Morgana, I believe is the name of the bad lady in this one. um like, and she lives in like one of the poles, I think, like the South Ocean, maybe. One of the like very, because that's where she meets like Tip and Dash, a walrus and a fucking penguin. So like it has to be somewhere cold, and that's where Morgana is. And so Morgana's sidekick is a shark that gets turned into a piranha, and is like very upset with himself for most of the movie because he's little, and then he gets turned back into a shark at the end, I think. yeah, and he like misses and he's like, oh yeah, back into the big body, baby. And but yeah, so Morgana gets the trident and some shit happens and she almost kills Trident, and then this whole time Melody's in like a fucking child's night's not a nightgown, but she's got like ruffly pants and like a t-shirt on or a tank top, and I'm like, girl, you are standing on an ice cube right now, like or a fucking, what the fuck are they called, iceberg, like the little fucking ice chunks that are like floating in the water. And I'm like, how are you standing here barefoot in like shorts and a tank top fucking fighting some ice queen? Put some clothes on, what are you doing? And she's like 10. Like she's not, it's not like your typical 16-year-old like drama queen princess. She's like 10 or 11. um so she's like extra drama. But yeah, so that's the synopsis. Thanks for coming to my TED talk. There is also a third one, a third Little Mermaid, which goes back in time, kind of, to like right after Ariel's mom dies. Yeah, and it actually more focuses on Sebastian because he loves music, and once the queen dies, they like the king outlaws music because he like his wife loved music and he like can't stand to hear music, and so he outlaws it like in the kingdom, which is fucking dumb, but whatever. And you know, he like that's and um the my brain, this that one. um uh Basically Sebastian like goes to like an underground fucking speakeasy to like in order to like still get his music fix, you know? And it's actually pretty funny. And Ariel follows him uh like to this underground place and finds out that like he's like it's like a jazz club, and he's like making music which is against the rules of the kingdom. And she's like, well, I love music too, like how do we fucking fix this shit? And like it's like a whole thing about um them like trying to like get him to understand that like everyone loves music still, and like just because he's sad, like he shouldn't just outlaw shit, you know, as you do. You have to convince royalty that just because they have the sads doesn't mean they can just dick bags to everyone. um you know, the huge. So she that's like the whole storyline for that one. But for those of you who may not know, um we're on a Disney rant, so hope you guys are digging it because that's what I'm on right now. I'm looking for a wheel, like a fucking thing. What I'm talking about. Anyway, though, so the original story of the Little Mermaid, like the Grimm's fairy tales version, is less than nice. In the original one, the uh, she still like goes to the sea witch because she wants to like be a real girl, and so she goes and the like sea witch basically grants her like the same way that it happens in the movie, where she says, okay, like you can um I'll give you like the ability to be on land, but I'm gonna take your voice. And so she does. She takes her voice, And but there's not like this 3 day time period. She's basically given however long in order to do it. Um, but she does have to like, I think it's actually like, I think there is an amount of time. Like he has to marry her. Like it's not like a you get 3 days to get him to kiss you. It's like he has to marry you, and then like it works, and you get your voice back and shit. Well, so she finds him, and he's like into her, but then like somebody else shows up and he just like likes her a little bit more. And but they're like BFFs at this point, and she like basically watches him get like swooped out from under her fucking feet. And it's not the sea witch who does it. Like it's like an actual other person who like is there. And uh do we have lag in? I don't, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck I can use as a steering wheel for this. Because we have wheels. They're there. I see them. Oh. Um, but so basically she like can't, there's only so much she can do, you know? And on that front, like she tries to like get him to be about her, but it doesn't really work. And unfortunately, like pick one. How about that? Maybe have um but she like sees how happy this like other girl makes her or makes him, and she like doesn't want to take that away from him. And so when it like comes time when it's like they're gonna get married and she's like running out of time, because if she doesn't get him to marry her, like she'll die. Like she like she'll die. And so um her sisters like know about this. And so her sisters um sell their hair to the sea witch because they have like long beautiful hair, and they sell their hair to the sea witch in order to get her this dagger. And the dagger is supposed to like be her way out. So basically she has to kill him. I think the other girl as well, but like she definitely has to kill him. Um and that will like trade her life for his. And so then like she can go back to being a mermaid and like living her best life. And her sisters like want her to do that. They're like, you know, come back to us. He doesn't fucking love you. Like, don't waste your shit. And so she's like about to do it. She's like standing over him, like fucking thinking about it. And then she just like sees him like sleeping so peacefully, like cuddled up to his fucking almost new wife. And she like can't do it. And so she pussies out, and she can't do it. So she yeets herself over the edge of the fucking banister and of the ship because they're on a ship, and she just like falls into the water and like becomes the sea foam, and then has to live like 100 years as like a wind spirit because she technically like killed herself. Um, so she has to live 100 years as like a wind spirit until she's like released from her service, and then she can try to, I don't know, be not that, and she can be an angel or whatever the fuck she's supposed to be. But yeah, so that's how that happens. But at the same, like a lot of the like OG stories for things like that were like really low key fucking morbid, and not even like low key. Some of them were like really fucky. Um, like Snow White. uh, her mother, like the evil queen, has to dance on hot coals until she dies. Actually, that might be. That's actually Cinderella. I lied. Um, Cinderella, they the sisters, the older, like the Meadale sisters, because they tried to like say that they were, you know, her when they weren't. Um, they basically like get punished for that, and the way that happens is kind of happens on its own, but they like say that they're her, and in doing so, they like cut off the one sister cuts off her toes, like all of her toes, in order to make the shoes fit. The other sister cuts off a chunk of her heel in order to make the shoe fit. Um, and they're just like gross and bleeding out and nastiness. And obviously, it doesn't work. And so they are chased like away, like into the village or whatever, um, by a bunch of birds and get their eyes pecked out. So, like, that's a cool way to go. Are you talking about Grimm Brothers Cinderella? Yes, yes, I am. But yeah, so the sisters get their uh, eyeballs pecked out and chased like into wherever they end up, and then the stepmother has to put on iron shoes and dance on hot coals until she fucking dies. So don't be mean to your kids, friends. I guess is the moral of the story there. I rewatched Into the Woods the other day. Much love. Into the Woods is pretty good. I love the fucking the agony. Uh uh that was a good movie. I will say, low key spoilers for those of you who haven't watched it. I will say that the Emily Blunt's character kind of like got me a little. Like, am I like the only one that felt that way? Because like I was not ready for like that. Like I was not prepared. Obviously Meryl Streep is a gem and she should be protected at all costs. So of course I love her. Really, like it is super fucking sad. Like gets me right in the feels. But I don't know, like Into the Woods was good. It wasn't like my fave, but it definitely like it was good. Um there is a show slash it's not really well, I guess it could be a movie, but it was a show for a long time. It's called The 10th Kingdom. And I fucking love that shit. Like, so The 10th Kingdom is an old, like this there's no I don't think there I think there's CGI, but it's like very bad. Like it's the fucking costumes are like Mango, oi, how is every being hard? Oh, my boats. My boats are hard. Wait, wrong wood. Ha ha ha! You got my joke though. Thanks. The goal was to pun it up and see who would show up. So, congrats, Mingo. You're number one. um, but so there was this show called The 10th Kingdom, and it was basically like this fantasy realm world has 9 kingdoms, and they find this magic mirror that takes them into like our world, which is like the 10th kingdom. and uh, they like do all this like weird shit, and the girl finds out that like her mom was like the evil queen and like tried to kill her when she was a baby and like drown her in a fucking bathtub. Like it was fucking crazy. But the guy who plays like the big bad wolf plays a character named Nico in uh it was a show about a therapist who becomes like a therapist for this famous football player. His name is like TK, and like for all of these like upscale um like sports people and like movie stars or whatever. And Nico was like the bodyguard, like sneaky dude. But in the 10th Kingdom, Nico is the big bad wolf, and he basically like falls in love with this girl. And there's like parts where he's like bad because he was like contracted to like kill her by the queen, but he falls in love with her, but like he also was like has to kill her and like all this other craziness. And they buy like he buys her a ring that sings to her when he should have like spent the money on like the mirror that would have got her back to the other. It's like a whole thing. But Mango said, finally doing the announcement stream for my product. Just need to get the DMs Guild logo on it to make it eligible for sale. How exciting! Proud of you. It's the habanero crying. Is it a habanero? It's a sad pepper, right? Like a crying pepper. But really though, like at the very least, like please look up the trailer for the 10th Kingdom. Like if you're not gonna watch it, and you don't have to watch it. Also, she's being chased by like trolls during the whole time. It's like a set of three of them, and like their dad is like the king, the troll king. There's like it's like a, but anyways, like watch the trailer for it because it's fucking hilarious. Um, I saw it for the first time in high school. Um, and I watched a lot of weird stuff in high school. Not like weeb stuff, but like the 10th Kingdom, and like if you've ever seen the movie Crybaby with Johnny Depp. Crybaby is when Johnny Depp was like a baby, right? When he was like real fucking young. Like he had to have been 18, early 20s. Like he was fucking young. I was going to look it up. I honestly am not a big TV person, usually movies and theater musical stuff. Yeah, I'm not a big TV person either. Even movies, like aside from Disney, because I'll fucking binge that shit and like documentaries. Um, but aside from that, like um I don't watch a lot of stuff like that. Um I could. I don't. Um Not that there's necessarily anything wrong with that. I just don't. Um compare. Oh no, don't do that to me again. Oh no. Doing this thing, which is super cool, where I have to close out of it in order to like switch levels sometimes, which is fucking dumb, but it's fine. Um but anyway, so yeah, I had a my best friend in high school. Our relationship was based purely on the foundations of Phantom of the Opera. Like Phantom of the Opera was the base of our entire friendship, and like everything else was built from there. um like and then when Les Mis came out, um we binged the 25th anniversary with fucking what's her name, the one who's in the movie, um and like is it Reem Karamlu? Whatevs. And then when Frankenstein came out with Benedict Cumberbatch, and I think it was also Reem Karamlu, but it was definitely like Benedict Cumberbatch was they would switch like every night, every other night, over which one of them was the doctor and which one of them was the monster. Oh my god, it was so good. Let's see. What else? What other ones we got? Where does my music keep ending? What's happening? All are fucking not doing me justice. The Wild North. To me. We can try this. It's called Heavyweights. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Might be a different vibe. Um, but yeah, like that was a thing. The I'm trying to think of the ones. I kind of got into Outlander a little bit because I read the first book and I really liked it. And I started to read the second book, and then I realized that there's like a 7 year difference between the first book and the second book. And I was not prepared for that, like emotionally. So I just didn't fucking read it. And they kept telling me you have to read it, you have to watch it. It's so fucking good. And I was like, I want to, but I'm not gonna. Just because I know, like I know that it's gonna give me the feels. And I read enough of it to know what happens to Jamie, and I'm not fucking ready for that. Like I know what happens to him. And I'm not ready because apparently it's very graphic. And I'm not ready. I'm not ready. So I avoided it. My brother and I went and saw Phantom of the Opera in Houston, and yes, my theater company saw Frankenstein with Benedict Cumberbatch. Wasn't it so fucking good though? It was so good. Like so good. For my birthday one year, my grandma took me to see The Lion King. I'm from Virginia, so it wasn't like on Broadway, but it was like pretty fucking close. It was like an actual like theater troupe that like went around, or company or whatever, that like went and did it. And so it was like the official one with like the merch and everything. And oh my god, it was so good. Oh, oh, so good. I think I was 16, 17, I think. Lion King was the first musical. Yeah, I saw a bunch when I was younger. I think my first one was actually like in school. They went and did like a horror, like Edgar Allan Poe vibe. I think I don't. I was like a. It was like a bunch of shorts. Um, and I just remember one of them was like this guy like dies, or their son dies, and like they are granted like a wish, and they wish that he would like come back, and they like break the rules, the laws or whatever, to like of the wish or the magic or whatever it is, to like get him to come back. And they realize that he's gonna come back like in chunks, like as a zombie, because he was like, I don't know, put in a fucking wood chipper or some shit like that. And they like his like creepy body gets to the fucking door, and he's like, no, never mind, like I'm just kidding. And then it's like a it was weird. It's like a weird thing they to take like teenagers to, but like that was the thing that or maybe it was middle school. We did that one. um I saw Legally Blonde, I think. Cats. um it's so it's creepy, but it's sound yeah, it was super fucking weird. And I think it was like, I think it was like an Edgar Allan Poe kind of vibe, because they did the heart under the floorboards one, I think, or the wall, where he kills the thing and he like puts it in the floor or the wall or whatever, and like he like keeps hearing it and like goes crazy and pulls it out. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think it was like a bunch of that kind of vibes. Yeah, I don't remember the name either. It's probably something super fucking like the heart or something like that. Like the black cat, like something super fucking like right there. Um, but yeah, it was weird. I think my favorite one of those, I don't even know if it's actually, if it is Edgar Allan Poe, it might be somebody else. But my favorite is the one where it's like a guy, and or a lady. No, it's a guy, and he's talking about like his mom or his wife is like, no, it's his wife. His wife goes missing, I think, or like she's disappears or whatever the fuck it is. And he like never lets anyone into his house. And then like he finally does like let someone into his house, and I think it was his mom. But anyway, so he like finally lets somebody into his house and they're doing like an interview with him or something like that. Or he's dying or something, and they like pull it up, like him, and I think he has like a heart attack, like while they're talking, and he dies. And so then like the police have to come and go through his house, that like nobody's been in for like fucking 50 years or some shit like that. And like a crazy amount of time that he's like been fucking holed up in this house. And they like go upstairs and like find the like woman is like mummified in her bed, like like she died like in her bed, and she's like laying there like and like is decrepit and gross. But they find like hair on the pillow next to her, so he's been like sleeping next to her this whole fucking time. And I'm just like, ugh. But it's like one of my faves. Like I fucking love it because it's like, ew. Yeah, like gross. Exactly. Like, but yeah, that's one of my faves. Um, I like the weird obscure ones, you know. Like I said, Crybaby was one of those. I used to know all the words to Crybaby back in the fucking day. Basically, that one is about. It's so fucking. Oh my god, it's so cringy. Like it makes you hurt. Like it makes you be embarrassed for him. The fact that like he had to say these things and like do the things that he did on this like in this movie. Like he is a a, a drape. A, yeah, and then Allison, the like main girl, is a square. So she's like nerdy and like dresses really prim and proper. And like her and her like square friends and like her square ass boyfriend who's a fucking asshole. And they're part of this like country club. And there's like a kind of like a racism in there. Like with the because like the black people hang out with the drapes, but they like get put in jail a lot. I don't. I think the school does. It's supposed. I think it's set in like the 70s. No, maybe I don't know. It's set in like some ridiculous fucking thing, and like it starts off like they're all standing in a line at like their school to get like a fucking I don't know diphtheria shot. They're all standing in like their high school gymnasium, like waiting to like get fucking shanked by like this nurse and doctor like in these two lines, and they're all like grouped together. And like Pepper, who's Crybaby's sister, is like pregnant with like her third fucking kid, and she's like I don't know 16 or some shit like that. And Hatchet Face and her boyfriend, whose name is Melvin, but they call him something else. And Crybaby is like the cool kid, and then Wanda, who is like a snooty one, and like like Allison and her like fucking square ass boyfriend and his weird friends are like all standing in the line, and they like bring Crybaby into the like gym, and there's two people like dragging him in there, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna do it. And everybody's like being fucking bitches about this shot. And and like they like bring him in, and Allison like turns and looks at him, and he like looks at her, and they've got like this eye thing going on, and they both get like put on the stool at the same time, and they're like looking at each other, but like not, as they both get fucking shanked in the arm, but like neither of them flinch because they're not bitches. And then like he has, I think that's when she sees his like one single tear that he cries every day, for his parents, who were, his dad was put in the electric chair. He was the alphabet bomb, and his mother was also killed because reasons, I guess. There's a lot of plot holes, but like, and then like literally, it's like one of the first fucking lines of the movie, if not the first one, where like they finish doing whatever they're doing and they walk outside, and like Crybaby and all of his weird friends are like standing across the street in front of their like fucking cool kid like painted black car, and she like walks out and she looks at them and she's like, I'm so tired of being good, and then just like fucking walks over there, and I'm like, you got balls, girl, but that was fucking weird. Like like she looks dead eyes right into the fucking camera and is like, and then goes over there, and like that's how the fucking movie starts. And like it's a fucking trip. Like, I encourage everyone who has never seen Crybaby to fucking do it, because it's so bad. Like, it's the fucking best thing on the planet. And I love the ending, the like the jail sequence. So like basically Crybaby finally is like, please like come to um like the jukebox jamboree, I think is what it's called. And he's like, I just want like you to hear me sing, and she's like, I want to hear you sing. And so there's also this other girl who's like a super salute and like is trying to bang Crybaby, and he's like not about her. And she gets pretty mad about it later on. But so he like basically kidnaps Allison and like takes her to the jukebox jamboree. Um, he like shows up to their like talent night at the 4-H club that like Allison is part of, and on his motorcycle that he got as a birthday present. And the grandma is like, what the fuck, like, and of course Allison's stupid boyfriend like wants to fight him. His name is something real fucking dumb too. It's like Winston or Reginald or something fucking stupid like that. and and he's like wants to fight him. But she's like, whatever, like leave us the fuck alone. It's not about you right now. And so she goes with him and she's like, I just want to hear him sing, Grandma. And she's like, but what about your dress? So she goes, and they get there, and of course they give Allison a makeover because she looks like a fucking square. And they're like, you're part square, part drape. You're a scrape. And I'm like, that's the best you could have fucking come up with? Come on now, Piper. And so they get her like into tight pants and like a tight shirt, and she's like, I'm just afraid that I won't fit in here. And the other girls are like, our bazooms are our weapons. And then she's like, what do you think, do I got what it takes? And they're like, whoa. And I'm like, that was a little forced, but like whatever. So basically she like comes out, and Crybaby's like, holy fuck, she's hot as shit. And he like does his like song in this like, it kind of looks like an Elvis jacket, but it's like obviously way too fucking big for him. And and she, he's like, it's like the whole, his whole gang is like part of his band, and it's like da-down down da-down down, and it's very like podunk, like backwoodsy kind of. And there's like a fucking Confederate flag out, I think, some at some point. And like he's like, one for all and all for one, like bow, 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 like, and all I want to do is have some fun, like bow, 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 bow. And then he's like sings this whole song about like Um, like, cause I'm the king, and then it's like king crybaby, and like then he like sings to her, and he's like, will you be my queen? And she's like, you're the queen, like you're the king, and then king crybaby, you're the queen, and it's like, oh, it's such a good. It's almost like a knockoff Grease. It really is. It really fucking is. But it's so just gets me right in the feels every time. But at the very end, like after like the fucking squares like fuck up their party, cause right, like what a bunch of fucking nerds. They put like sugar in their gas tanks and like push Crybaby's motorcycle down the fucking hill like a bunch of assholes. And like the fucking it's on fire like as it rolls by them, and he's like bah. This was I'd also interrupted their makeout scene, okay, where he's like oh, he's like, kiss me, Allison, kiss me hard, and she's like, but Crybaby, what about my parents? Like, because apparently they're both fucking double orphans, and like that's exactly what you should bring up when you're making out with somebody for the first time. Is like, I don't want you to touch my titties because what would my dead parents think? That's the first thing that we all fucking think about when we're making out with a hot ass greaser boy. And so they have this like discussion, and he's got like this giant fucking electric tear like tattooed on his chest. And and then they hear like everything going on down at the fucking party, and they like go, and everybody's like fighting. It's like a big fucking brawl between the squares and the drapes, and like uh the next like they get taken to jail, and like the next scene is where they are in the jail cell, and like the judge is like talking to Allison's grandma, and she's like, please like don't, like she literally has like never been around them before, and like all the other people's parents are there, like please let our kids like off the fucking hook. And Allison's grandma is like, please don't send her to jail. Like, she didn't fucking do anything wrong. And Allison's like, Grandma, please, like, Crybaby was just like wanted to hear me sing, like me. And the judge is like, I'm gonna let her go, Mrs. Vernon Williams, because you are a kind and beautiful lady. And I was like, sir, the House of Justice. Put it away. But anyways, he lets her off, but he sentences Crybaby to be in this like penitentiary until he's like 18 or whatever, or 21 or something like that. And basically they like he tries to break out, and he tries to break out. It does not work, but he ends up like losing his pants at one point as he like crawls through the fucking sewers. And then because he's trying to avoid getting his haircut, and there's like a point where like a rat laughs at him, which is kind of weird. But he finally gets to the point where like they are about to cut his hair, and there's like a whole other like side story, because uh the girl who was like the super salute and like wanted Crybaby to take her to the jukebox jamboree, but he didn't want to because her name is Lenora. And Pepper tells Lenora that my brother wouldn't touch your titties with a 10-foot pole, and Lenora is very upset about this. So, as one does. So, of course, her way to exact revenge is, of course, to pretend like Crybaby got her pregnant. And so Allison, like Crybaby, like when he gets arrested, Alice, like Lenora goes not like on the news, but like stops a reporter and is like, he just wants to be a good dad, like a good parent, like he didn't have any, blah blah blah, and he just wants to be a good daddy, and like whatever the fuck her fucking plan is. And Allison hears that, and she thinks that it's true, and so she's like, what that other. I didn't know you had a lady friend." And he's like, "She don't mean nothing to me." And she's like, sus. So she like goes to this like theme park to like sing with the fucking square dude, and then figures out that he's a fucking asshole also. And so then she's like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out." Like everybody fucking sucks. And so um they basically are like, "Allison, he needs you," and the grandma's like, "Pick the man who loves you the most." And there's also like a weird scene where they drink their tears. It's kind of gross. But so then they what is happening? So then she goes to the jail where Crybaby is being kept, and he's like about to get his hair cut, and they call his name over the loudspeaker. They're like, "Walker, Wade Walker," because that's his name. And she like goes out, and then she's wearing the like slutty girl pants shirt combo that she had at the fucking place. It is very very knockoff Grease because she shows up looking like a whole way. And she's like, "Please, Mr. Jailer, like let my man go free." And like the grandma's there and she's like dancing and she's got like a little skull and crossbones thing in her like little flower. And like the police had also taken away Pepper's other two kids. And so they rescue them from the orphanage. And oh, it's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff happens. But anyway, so they basically Crybaby like gets pardoned by the judge because again, Mrs. Vernon Williams, he's like hella about her. And so that's like how he essentially gets free is because the judge is like, "All right, I guess I'll fucking let you go." So then there's like a final like who's gonna be the fucking big dick, and they play a game of chicken, as you do. And uh I guess that's like how things were settled back in the day. And of course, fucking what's his dick out here is like, what's he say? Like my grandpappy is like the one who like pulled the lever on like your parents' electric chair. And every year, like at Christmas, we sit around and he tells the story and we just laugh. And so then, of course, Crybaby is like fucking traumatized, and he's just like, "I challenge you to a game of chicken." like, that's the fucking deciding factor. Is like, I challenge you to a game of chicken, but they're both on top of the cars, and it's like a whole fucking adventure. I guess I don't know. It's like a whole thing. So of course, Crybaby wins. Um, the fucking weird square dude ends up with Lenora, even though everybody knew she was a hoe. Like whatevs. And Allison and Crybaby end up together. And the very end is very weird. She like gets yeeted onto the back of his motorcycle, but like her dress gets ripped off at the same time, and she kind of like falls onto his motorcycle. It's very weird. It's a weird movie, but if you're into it, then like fucking live your life, I guess. So, uh, yeah, that was one. And I used to know like all the fucking words. I also used to know Beauty and the Beast in both French and English for a while there. I had that figured out. If you're ever wondering what kind of nerd I really am, that's it. That's your answer. Um, but I almost went to college for folklore mythology, so lots of weird things that I know about, as you do. But oops, the Beauty and the Beast has always been my fave. And for those of you who don't know, fun fact, Lion King is actually Disney's version of Romeo and Juliet. If you think I'm lying, let me smack some knowledge down on you. So, in or no, sorry, it's not Romeo and Juliet. The second one is Romeo and Juliet. The first one is Hamlet, which is about a guy who is a prince, and he is living his prince life. And all of a sudden, his dad dies, and nobody knows what the fuck happened. And all of a sudden, his uncle, who is a super cool guy, is like, "Hey, guess that means I'm the king." And everybody's like, "Well, yeah, I guess so. How fucking weird is that?" And he's like, "Yeah, fucking weird." And Hamlet is like, "That's a little sus. Not sure I believe it." And he's like living his life one night out in the world, and he sees a fucking ghost. And they're like, "What in the fuck is that?" And turns out it's actually Ghost Daddy, uh, out here fucking trying to get some shit done. And he basically like goes to Hamlet, and he's like, "Hey, some shit's weird, and like you need to fix it." And Hamlet's like, "What the fuck do you expect me to do about it?" And he's like, "Figure out why I'm dead, and it'll be fine." He's like, "All right, cool. That's a weird quest, but here we are." So he basically like accepts the quest and finds out that his uncle is who killed his dad, and they don't really know like how to go about fixing that. Like they're like, okay, he's a bad guy, obviously, but by this point, his uncle has married his mom, as you do. You know, when my husband dies, I'm definitely gonna marry his brother. That's exactly the first thing I'm gonna do as soon as it happens. Like, um, and so basically, they like it's hella sus, like the way that it happens. Hello, it is hella sus the way that it happens, and um the mom, like the queen, is like totally cool with it. You know, she's like, yeah, he's the king now. Like it's fine. MBD. Like yep. Like I have decided it's cool, and everybody's kind of like, you know, like meh. And she is just like here for it, and it's it's very sus. And so basically, she Hamlet has this girl, her name is Ophelia, who he's supposed to marry, um, and who he's like very into, and she's very into him. And but she starts acting real fucking weird. And he like can't figure out what's wrong with her. She's just like really sad, and like he doesn't understand what the fuck is going on. And she doesn't understand what the fuck's going on either. And everyone's just like sad, and like we all just have the sads. And he honestly like has no fucking clue like how to fix whatever the situation is. And so he basically ignores her. I'm loving you telling him Hamlet. Thanks. So he basically ignores her, and she um like yeets herself off the fucking cliff and just like like she's gone. Like she's out. um which it is discussed in literary circles as to whether or not she actually yeets herself, or if the queen pushes her, because basically she all it says is that like they go to the fucking cliffs or like the beach or whatever, and then like they come back and the mom's like, "Oh no, she's dead. We found her in the water. Sorry." And like that's it. That's all you hear about it. Like that's it. That's all there is. There's no like, "Oh my god, she fell off the cliff." It's just like Oops. Like, so uh that bitch definitely fucking pushed her. But anyway, so then of course Hamlet's like even more in the sads because now like his like wifey's gone and his dad is dead and he doesn't really know how to fucking fix that shit. And the ghost is still like out here terrorizing people. And eventually he figures out that like how they're gonna do it, and he like fights the uncle, and Hamlin's a tragedy, so everybody dies. UT actually put on 12 Ophelias last summer. Yeah, it's a interesting story. Um, but yeah, like it's a tragedy, so of course everyone dies. Um, and yeah, he basically like avenges his dad, but doesn't really fucking matter because everybody dies. Um, but the second one is Romeo and Juliet. The when Simba has a daughter, whomst he like is hella protective of and doesn't let her do anything by her fucking self. Um, and then Scar's like chosen son, but it's not his actual son because that would make them cousins, and of course Disney can't have that. So it's like he was the chosen one. But his mom was like one of Scar's bitches on like the outside. So like if you know anything about how a fucking lion pride works, then you know that they're fucking related. Because if Scar and fucking Mufasa are brothers and they're both like harem kings of their little fucking pride, then of course Kovu is fucking Scar's son. He's not just a chosen one. Like he would be anyway. So they like Kiara is fucking Simba's daughter. And she's like real fucking tired of being smothered, and she's like, I don't want to be a princess. I just want to live my life. And logistics Disney leaves out really like important shit. Um, and so like she basically fucking runs away as you do in I don't know why like all of Disney's like second layers are always about like people. Well, I mean, I guess a lot of the like actual ones are about people running away too. But basically she like fucking eats herself out and she's like, mm. He like hires Timon and Pumbaa to like stalk her to like make sure that she doesn't get in any kind of trouble. And she fucking hears them because they suck. And she's like really mad about it. And she's like, he promised that like he wouldn't fucking do that shit. And they were like, we don't know what you're talking about. We weren't following you. Like, ha 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 ha. And she's like, no, I'm gonna fucking run away. So she runs off outside of the Pride Lands and ends up, you guessed it, on the fucking outskirts. And whence that happens, she meets Kovu, and they're both cubs. They're like babies at this point. And so then, of course, um, Simba like finds her because Zazu's like, she fucking ran off, like a bunch of fucking tattletales. And then like Kovu's fucking psycho mom, uh, her name starts with a Z. I don't Zira maybe is I think her name. The daughter's name, the like Kovu's sis. So Kovu has a sister and a brother. The sister's name is Vitality. For whatever reason, I fucking remember that. And the brother's name is Luca. And like I said, I think her name is Zira, maybe something like that. And so she like runs the outskirts pride, and so they like clash because the kids are there together, and she's like, you're not supposed to like be here, and she's like, oh, are you gonna like kill my cub because he fucking came into the pride lands? Like, what an asshole. And so he's like, I'll let you live, but like get the fuck out of here. Like and so basically they then like devise this fucking formula where he's gonna grow up and be this like hot ass boy lion and seduce her into like letting him into the pride, and like basically she's supposed to like fall in love with him, and he is gonna like say that he was banished, and they're gonna end up like in the pride, and then he's gonna kill Simba. Like it's literally it's like 10 years of them being like babies to being like adults, teenagers, that this plan, and he's like the his like his montage of him growing up is like she's having the fucking best time of her life being like a princess and like being fucking treated beautifully, and he's out here like sleeping in a fucking stump and like eating termites, and everything's like dark and fucking scary and like this poor kid, and he's just like, I'm a killer. My goal is to kill Simba. Like I will infiltrate the pride. Like it's so fucking. Anyway, so uh Kiara like is an adult now, and she's supposed to go on her first hunt by herself. And she sucks like a lot because she's never been able to do anything by herself before. Like they're always fucking following her around. So she like um she like decides that she's gonna go off on her own and like fucking figure it out for herself, which is something that I would do. Like that makes fucking sense to me. Like I don't know why you wouldn't do that. Like um and so she like does that and meets Kovu because they stalked her and like knew that she was going to be there, and he like rescues her because they set the Pride Lands on fire in like a circle around her. And so she gets like trapped in the fire, and he like comes to save her and like rescues her, and um like drags her out, and then of course like they realize that she's like out in this fire, and they go to get her, and he's like dragging her out of the water, and she's like, why did you save me, like the ungrateful brat that she is, and he's like, sorry, I could have let you fucking die, and she's like, Kovu, and he's like, in the fucking flesh, like, you boy smile, and she's like, thanks. And then Simba's like, what the fuck are you doing here? And he's like, sorry, I was banished. And he's like, get the fuck out. And then, of course, Rafiki comes in, and he's like, how dare you save the king's daughter? And he's like, you did what? And he's like, she was gonna die. I was banished. I was trying to, like, be a cool kid. And he's like, sus. And so basically, they don't take him in. They kind of give him like a trial period. He's like, I'll save my judgment. I'll wait. Because you did this thing, like, because you saved her, like, I guess I'll fucking see if you're actually a good dude, or like, but I'm fucking keeping an eye on you. So, Kovu and Kiara, like, he offers to teach her how to hunt because she sucks. And so she's like, okay, let's fucking go. But the stipulation is that, like, she runs into Timon and Pumbaa, and for once they're not actually spying on her. They're like trying to get grubs from like these birds or whatever. And they just like run through the birds, and they're like, ah, and they're like, it's really hard because there's like all this other stuff. So they're like, we can fucking help. And so they roar, and all these birds come off. And then, of course, the fucking rhinos, I guess, are like BFFs with them. So they start chasing them. So then they're running from rhinos, and they end up in this like little fucking crack in the wall. And then their montage comes up, and it's like, Inupendi, Inupendi. And it's like, Upendi means love, doesn't it? And Rafiki's like, your heart will take you there. Like, it's like, so then of course they're like falling in love, and they're not supposed to be together. And Zira like stages an ambush because Vitality is like watching Kovu at like on Pride Rock, and he's standing like right next to Simba, but like it doesn't kill him. And she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And so she goes and tattles, and she's like, "He was right there and like didn't do anything." And she's like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "That stupid slut has like fucked his brain up." So they like devise a secondary plan, and the secondary plan is they're gonna ambush him. So basically, they're about to go out on like their cool kid hangout time, and like Simba is like, "No, you're not going to talk to him because I want to talk to him." And this is the same day, like, Kovu has decided that he also loves her and he doesn't want her to, like, not know what his like mission was. And he's like, "I was sent here to do a thing, but like now I love you and I don't want to do this thing, so like I have to tell you about it." And he's like, and she decides that she loves him too, and she's like, "I'm gonna tell him." And he's like, "Kiara, I have to talk to you." And she's like, "Kofu, I have to talk to you." And then Simba's like, "No, I have to talk to him." And they're like, so then he goes out and he's like telling him about Scar and like how like the real story of like what happened to Scar. And Kovu's like, "Wow, like I never heard it told that way." And then they get fucking ambushed. And Kovu tries to help him, but like also gets fucking beat up. And then they like come save him because I think Zazu like he like half drags himself somewhere, and Zazu like sees him and he's like, ambush. And so they like get into this big fucking war, and like Kovu comes back to Pride Rock and is like, "I didn't know it was gonna happen. I'm sorry." And he's like, "Exile, judgment." And she's like, "No." And so then he like gets exiled and he gets a cut on his face from the mom actually, and he's like, "Now you look scarred than ever." And so she fucking escapes. Like they stop her from stopping him, and I can't decide what the fuck I want in the bottom of this boat. Like I keep going back and forth because I know I want water down here, but like ah. Anyway, so they like she escapes because nobody tried really that hard to keep her in, and she goes and like finds him in this like place where the fire was that like locked her in, and things are like starting to grow back now. And so she is like, "I don't know, like, what the fuck do we do?" And he's like, "We could start a pride all our own." And I'm like, "You fucking slut. Like, keep your shit together." And she's like, "No, we have to bring them together. Like, we have to solve this." And so they do. And they, like, Zira, like, wants to fight them. And there's, like, a war. And they come out of the fucking mud and look gross and shit. And then the other lions are like healthy because they don't fucking live in the outskirts. And so they fight, and then um before that happens though, I think it's during the ambush, Luca gets knocked into the river and gets like thrown down the river, and he dies. And that's part of the reason why Zero like actually exiles Kovu and like slashes him, because Luca dies. And so they then fast forward to the fight, and Kiara and Kovu show up, and they're like, "We have to stop all this fighting. Like, look at them. They are us. Like, we are them. Wow, we are one." Like, there's a whole song about it. And so then he's like, "You're right." And of course Nala's like, "Of course she's fucking right. That's my girl." And so then it's also like raining because of course it is. And Nala is like, "We don't have to." Like, she was almost about to fight Vitality, and she's like, "We don't have to fight." And Vitality's like, "You fucking right. Like, we could come into your pride and like we could all be together and it'll be like cool and chill and fine." and but Zero's out here being a fucking d bag and like doesn't want that to happen. She's like, no, either like it's me or like you die. Like that's the options. And everybody turns on her, and she's like, ah! And so she tries to attack Simba or Kiara, one or the other. She tries to attack somebody, and I think it's yeah, and they like go tumbling, or she tries to attack Simba or somebody, and I think Kiara tackles her, and they end up like fucking tumbling down a cliff or whatever. And she falls, Zero falls like into the water, and Kiara like tries to help her and like a very much like brother help me, and she's like God, she's like take my paw, and then Zero's like ah and like scratches at her, and she's like I tried to help her, and she fucking falls and ah into the fucking water and dies. And she's like I'm sorry, I tried to save her. And so then of course immediately the fucking sky clears, and like the water stops rushing, and it's like oh no she died, bye, and then everything's fine, and they all stand on the rock and they roar about how cool they are. It's a whole thing. I do really like that one though too. And then of course there's the Lion King 1.5, which everyone always forgets there's a Lion King 2, and everybody's like 1.5 because it's Timon and Pumbaa, blah blah blah, and I'm like, y'all missing out because Kiara and Kovu's got like a real ass story going on. It's real weird, kind of in the middle there. Like, but I encourage you to look up the Inupendi song, and also the Please Mr. Jailer song from Crybaby, and also the trailer for 10th Kingdom if you haven't done all three of those things. Anyway, it is almost 2 a.m. for me. I did not get as much done on here as I wanted to, but I think it's just because I can't decide how I wanted to look. And Mappy Hour kind of ended up being like more of a just chatting thing. I'm not mad about it. I had a good time. I hope you guys had a good time. We got some stuff done. Yeah, I'm not mad about it. I probably could have done more, but like, I also need to talk to Dr. Colin and figure out exactly where these pelican wyverns are supposed to be, and maybe get like a little bit more information about it, because this is a really big ship, and if it's supposed to be full of treasure, but like half full of treasure, like I'm not really sure what to put in here and how full this is supposed to be. So, place the Lonely Island. Yeah, like I'm on a yeah, exactly. So not actually sure like what to do with this at this point. I'll have to wait and talk to Dr. Colin. But what I can do, since you lovely people came to see a boat, let me show you a boat that I finished. Thanks. Let me pull up here. Nope, not that one. We want the ships are fun. They are fun. This is Darius's ship, which is called the Sienna. I don't think I saved that. That's fine. This ship is called the Sienna. Ta-da! Um, um, we got dolphins. Thanks. We got some dolphins, and we got like I promise I do know how to make a ship. Okay, like I'm not totally inept over here, just like fucking talking the whole time. I do actually know things. This one only has one mast, one sail. It's not a huge boat. Um, but we got a little dinghy over here. We got the little fucking steery bit. Dolphins, the bullies of the ocean. No hippos. I will die on this mountain. I would take dolphins over hippos any fucking day of the week. Like, dolphins are nasty. Like, dolphins, if you go to like SeaWorld and stuff, like, dolphins will rub up on you. Hippos don't live in the ocean. You're not wrong. But like dolphins have been known to like protect people from sharks. Um, and but yes, dolphins will like rub up on you and like flip over and like you know wave they dick at you. Um, there are otters that live in the ocean. Otters are assholes as well. A bit of sin, just a little bit. There's a story on Rooster Teeth Animated, if you're interested, uh, about a dolphin that they try to teach. I see you have opinions. I do have opinions, especially about otters. They're assholes and so are hippos. But anyway, so there's a animated Rooster Teeth about a dolphin who they try to teach to speak, I guess. And so I'm a fan of primates. Ooh, yeah, I meh, meh on the primates. But so they put it in a building with a woman and like try to teach it how to do stuff, and it like falls in love with her and she like doesn't wanna, and so like they halfway fill up the house so that it can like live with her, and it starts like waving its dick at her and she and like pushing her and like trying to like get her, and so they their solution is that she starts uh giving the dolphin like know what I'm saying? And then they like drop LSD to red light, yeah. And then they end up dropping LSD together, and like the whole project gets like red lighted essentially. Yeah, it's a you can look it up. Rooster Teeth. It's a Rooster Teeth animated. I'm sure if you type in Rooster Teeth animated dolphin, you'll fucking find it. Um, but yeah, no, hippos are vicious. Otters are vicious. Otters are assholes. They might look cute, but they're fucking lying to you. It's not, yeah, very unPG. Um, Not a huge fan of primates. They kind of freak me out a little, actually. Um, I think like Coco is cool, and like some orangutans are cool, but like uh, gorillas are like can be hella aggressive, and that is terrifying to me. Um, I really like elephants, and I have a tattoo of them. Capuchin monkeys are pretty cute, but once they reach like a certain age, then they're just fucking menaces. Um, and I would not like to have a pet that has to wear a diaper all the time because it's basically like having a toddler, but it can't talk, and I don't like kids either. So it's like a whole like I don't know why. Like it doesn't matter how cute it is. Like I wouldn't want that. Anyway, though, so this is Darius's ship. We've got some cool stuff going on here. This one does get cannons because why the fuck not? He has a cat. I haven't named it yet. Um, First one to give me a name for the cat gets it. Ready? Three, two, one, go. Anyone? 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 I swear to God, if one of you says Crookshanks, somebody gets to name the cat. Whoever it is, whoever gets it first. I wasn't listening. Well, then obviously you don't get to name the cat, Cats. Mitten. Duchess. You get bonus points for that one, Kaz. But alas, Mitten was first. So there you go. Kitten's name is Mitten. Kitten name is Mitten. Duchess is the name of my cat. That's why he gets bonus points for that one. I could put sharks in here too, but we're not gonna. We're just gonna leave it with dolphins. Down into the living quarters. So this area is Darius's like sleeping place, I guess. Whatever the room, sure. He's got a cool book and a bed and some cheese and some bread. Wow, that rhymed. I didn't mean to do that. That was on accident. And a cool bear rug and some like a desk. I where does peg legs sleep? Probably the most easily accessible one, which I would say is like here or here. Cause could you imagine her trying to fucking hobble through this fucking grate? and just like do like I'm sorry. That was Whew. Okay, it's fine. I'm cool and chill. She sleeps where she gets up. Yeah, basically. Uh, yeah. So I would imagine probably one of these first ones would be where she sleeps. Um, but there's a broom. There's some apples. To avoid the scurvy. I don't know. Does apples technically have vitamin C in them? Question mark. Um, and then we've got some other stuff. And then down in for context, Peglegs is a tiefling on the chapter 2 cover. Yes, she is. She is a uh she got no arms and she got no legs. They're just pegs. Which was her choice. We're not making fun of the disabled. She chose that lifestyle. She wanted to be more piratey, and so she chose to, do whatever. And she can change them out. Similarly to Captain Hook, like she can change out if she wants it to be a sword instead of a, you know. Um, and then we have the hull, which is not very big. The ship is not as large as it could have been, but again, he's not really like a baby pirate, but he's not like the coolest of cool pirates. His dad makes boats, and he basically was like, "Hey, you want to make me a boat?" And he was like, "Sure, I guess." This is 20 by 20, 30, 40, 50, 60-ish, 55. So it's not the biggest boat out there, but it is pretty large, and it's got 4 cannons, which is not bad. Um, when you get into some of the larger ships, if I can pull it up real fast. I had it open earlier, so it should be right here. Some of the larger ones that are out there, the Man of War is the biggest one, uh, which has a width of 70 feet, is 255 feet in length, has 5 decks, 2 of which are gun decks, uh, 45 hull cannons. No, sorry, 102 hull cannons, 34 deck cannons, Beth, you tied third. Fuck yeah! Yes! Yes! Hell yeah. Let me look at it. Ah! Everyone, first of all, I want to thank you all for the amazing map makers who participated in our first map making contest. Second of all, thank you to everyone who voted. Number 1 is Pocket Flip. Number 2 is Mix Maps, and a two-way tie between Lady Nim, that's me, and the Mappeteer. Stay tuned for the completed map pack. I'll be gathering all files for releases on Friday. Fuck yeah, your girl tied for third. Ooh, 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 ooh. For those of you who would like to see it, I'll fucking show it to you, because why not, right? Yeah, so that's Darius's ship. The big bitch is like huge. All right, like Man of War is a fucking big bitch. Like I've got 3 base ships left to make. I'm not ready for that one. That one's gonna be a lot. But yeah. So let's see. Um, contest. Do 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 do. I'm hyped now. How exciting! Woo! So this map contest was for a marketplace, and if you want to see me partially build the beginning half of this. You can find that video on my YouTube, Golden Maps, and my internet started doing like a weird thing a little ways in, so I didn't actually get to finish it on the stream, but you can see like a good chunk of the beginning of that. Um, I want to say it's like an hour or two long, but here it is. This is the map. So let me turn off the grid so that you guys can actually see better. So this is also made with Forgotten Adventures, but we got a not a people trader, a panther thing, an animal trader in here. We've got a like scribe type thing, like books. There's a lamp, there's a map, and paper and stuff. We've got a little baker with some apples and oranges and pies. They're making a little thing back here. Um, we've got a very fancy gnome who's selling jewelry and fancy rugs and like a room divider and a bench and a mirror, and like over here's the notice board, and we've got like fish and some stuff, and then over here this is where clothing is sold. Asmodeus, I could not find what you and Georgia suggested I put in here, so instead you get to just imagine that this is the tent for that. Then we got this guy over here who's got like geode stuff and like ores that he's selling. And then we've got this lady who has like some different herbs and like some skulls and some other cool stuff. There is technically a tree, like there's technically a tree right here. I'd have to go up a level, and then like if I compare it, then you can see it. But whatever. This guy hasn't set up his tent yet all the way. We've got a blacksmith and somebody checking out his stuff over here. Nothing cool is happening over here other than some rocks. But yeah, like this is his cart for the blacksmith. But yeah, there you go. That was my map. That one for praise. Much excited. Yay. Anywho, it is past the end of stream time. I appreciate all of you for attending. Thank you, Casmodius, for your Prime subscription. I appreciate you greatly. Thanks for everyone else who's hung out and you people that we have. Geo, thank you for coming back. I know you were around earlier today. You can find me, like I said, Golden Maps is my YouTube, or the Instagram is the Golden Wife with dots in between. And also, the Turtle Guild has an Instagram as well if you're interested. Swing through the Discord if you would like to be part of a super cool community of people. Let me drop. That's not what Discord. Kaz, check out his Instagram too. If you scroll back up to where he did the red light, that Instagram is Kaz's. He's a cool kid. Thanks for the Prime sub. Our next stream is Friday morning at 9 a.m. Central Time. It is Draw with Drew. It has been a pleasure. Thank you for letting me rant and talk about Disney. Sorry we didn't get as much done as we normally do. I appreciate you. Thank you for attending. Have a good rest of your evening. Bye.